everybody, Megan here from Rebalance Massage Clinic. I hope you're all doing well. I had somebody request shoulders, arms, hands for massage today, so that's what our tutorial is going to be about. So first thing I'm going to have us do is just get the shoulder moving around. Make sure if you're doing your shoulder movements, make sure it's not coming from your elbow, but you're definitely focusing here on the shoulder. So let's do a couple circles here in either direction. The reason I have my hand here is just a reminder for myself that I make sure I'm moving from the correct place in my shoulder. So if you need that reminder, you're welcome to put your hand up there as well. So one thing I do like to do is I like to start closest to the center of the body and work my way down, but in an upward direction. So I hope that makes sense for you. So we're going to start up here and we're going to do movements that kind of push our circulation kind of back into our body. You don't have to think about pushing like the bone into the shoulder, but think about more of like the strokes that you're doing. So if you're doing long, smooth strokes, you can go kind of in this direction. You don't want to go down the arm. I like to do kind of a pinching with sort of a mitten hand. Just pinch the bicep and tricep so that you can. And for me, that's just what feels best. Alright, if you need to pull your arm across your shoulder, you're welcome to do that. If you need to do kind of a stretch in this direction, you're welcome to kind of loosen up the triceps in that way. For me, I think I really just want to focus on massage today rather than stretching, but it's up to you, whatever feels good. You might need a little stretch depending on what your daily routine is like. So we're going to go down a little bit closer to the elbow. You don't necessarily want to work right here in the crease, but definitely make sure if you're getting kind of the insertion points of the muscles where they kind of go into that joint there. You may find it a little bit tender. You do have a lot more nerve endings in that area, so a little bit more tenderness is normal. Don't be too concerned. If you have a lot of tenderness, maybe consider what your workout routine is like and see if you need to make an adjustment. Again, I'm just going to finish up with some smooth strokes going up towards my shoulder. And if you can, I was tensing there, if you can, try and let your arm be just relaxed. And if you need to lie down to do that, that's fine too. Sometimes lying down in a relaxed position helps when you're working on yourself, because there's a lot of a tendency if you're using your muscles on one side, you're gonna kind of also possibly forget not to use your muscles on the side that you're working on. So if you need to lie down, that's fine. Now we're going to move down below the elbow crease. For this area, I like to use a little bit of lotion. This is kind of, for arms and hands, it's kind of the only area that I recommend actual hand lotion rather than massage oil. Just because if you get oil on your hands and then you have to go do something during the day, like you're just going to be touching and getting oil everywhere, the hand lotion kind of absorbs a little bit quicker, so it's helpful for not getting oil all over everything once you're done working on your hands. It has a little bit less glide to it, so it's it may feel a little stickier. You might want to just use a little dab of olive oil instead. Coconut oil is nice. I'm going to be using coconut body butter from Trader Joe's. Just something I had lying around the house. This is not a product endorsement, it's just what I have here, because I don't really want to use oil right now. Alright, so I'm going to take a little dab of the lotion. Not a whole lot, a little bit goes a long way, especially the higher, if the lotion you're using has a higher content of oil, it's definitely going to go farther, and it might be even a good substitute for massage oil, just depending on what your preferences are for how sticky you like your skin to be. So I'm just going to take that oil and just slide it on up, just all around, just to get it spread out, and then I'm going to start into the massage. I hope you can see this. Maybe I should pull it up. So I'm doing smooth strokes. Again, I'm using sort of that mitten hand, smooth strokes along the muscle, going up towards the shoulder. And you can turn it over, get some smooth strokes in that direction. Alright, now also if you need to, you can do a little bit more deeper pressure. You can use thumbs, you can use your pointer finger kind of braced, either sliding, or if you have little knots in there, you can push directly into them. Or you can even do more of a pinch where you kind of like pinch on either side of that knot if you find something. Definitely look for trigger points. There's the cat. One of the beautiful things about working at home is stuff like that. So just roll with it. Alright, I'm going to get just a little dab more, and I'm going to, what are you doing? I'm going to focus on my wrist, especially if you've been working from home a lot and you're spending a lot of time at the computer like this. You might be seeing a change, especially if you're not used to working at your home desk and you're much more used to working at your office desk. You may feel that your body's kind of adjusting a little bit. You may need to give a little bit more attention to your wrist and just make sure that you're not, irritating the tiny bones in this area or the tendons. There's a whole lot going on in your wrist. So I like to just do kind of a little bit of a rotational, I just cracked twice, I don't know if you heard that, just to kind of get everything moving. Another thing you can do is kind of, if you take the pinch and you put one finger on either side, let your hand just be really floppy, and you kind of just go like that, and it makes everything a little bit looser. This may be hard to do if you're not used to just like letting your hand go limp. But give it a try, see what you can come up with. So we're going to move down onto the hand, and we're going to start on the palm, and then we'll move to the back of the hand. So I'm going to put this dab here, right in the center. I'm going to grab with the underside of my hand with my opposite hand, and I'm just going to slide in a circular direction. We'll call that clockwise, I think. I don't know if it looks clockwise to you, but it's definitely clockwise on my hand. So we're just going to go in a circular rotational pattern right along the outside. I hope you can see that. And then we're going to grab the edge. This thumb is going to grab the edge of the thumb that I'm working on. Just move it around a little bit, and kind of like you're rubbing two coins together in your hand, just kind of rub along the finger until you get to the end. So you see that again, just like that. And we're going to do the same thing along this part of the hand. So we're going to do kind of that little coin rub thing, moving right along to the outer side of the hand, the end of the finger along the outside of the hand. And then moving in, we're going to take this part of my hand, slide it right in, work along the bone. This is what I'm doing on this side, this is what I'm doing on that side, and we're just going to continue with that coin rub movement till you get to the end of the finger. And do that for all of your fingers. And you can roll it out a little bit, almost like you're making Play-Doh, balls or something. Just rolling it around. You want to focus on this part of your hand, not so much on this part of your hand, the side that you're working on. So we're going to move to the back of the hand. We're just going to take flat palm, and we're just going to slide up. If you feel like your hand needs to just follow that direction, you can, or you can just let it stay completely limp whatever feels best. As you move up this way, because this is all tendons, you may find that it just naturally pulls up like that. If you feel like you need more pressure than what you can get just like this, I hope you can see my legs. I'll pull it up this way. So imagine that you're just resting your arm. It's not going to work. Alright, so I'm resting my arm. I'm just going to hope that you can see this, that it's in the shot. Resting my arm on my leg. I'm going to use this part of my forearm that I'm going to be working on this arm. So I'm just going to put my weight into it, and that just allows me to get a lot deeper pressure into it. You can do that for either this side of your arm, or you can turn it over and get the forearm to just give yourself a little bit more pressure. You can also do the same thing with your hand. You can make a fist and just kind of press down into your hand like that, using your leg or a soft surface, whatever you're working on. You know, if you're sitting on your bed or on your couch or something like that, you can definitely press that into the cushions. I like to use my leg. It just feels like there's a lot of support there, so I just kind of make that fist and then just kind of rotate into my palm. I don't think it feels as great when you move out to the fingers, but if you feel like it's going to work on your fingers, you can give it a try. Personally, I don't like it. I could maybe do a flat palm onto the fingers in this way, but definitely this one is my favorite for kind of the fist into the palm. And then when you're completely finished, you've gotten all the way to the ends of your fingers, just make some nice long strokes going the whole way up your arm, just to even everything out and just make sure that your body, that you have a body awareness that your arm is a complete thing, not a bunch of little segments. So that's why I like to usually just finish with nice long strokes. It just kind of, it helps with circulation, but it also just helps with kind of the body awareness. Alright, so if you're done with this arm, feel free to pause the video, go back, do the same thing for the other arm, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you're staying relaxed and you're staying balanced, and that you're making the most of this time in isolation. Be well.